If you are doing something that's service related, meaning you are an accountant, just buy a laptop, buy a decent internet connection, buy something that will allow you to be able to get clients as well. Or if you're a photographer, of course you need equipment, buy the cameras that you need. You are an editor, buy a laptop. There are so many businesses that you can do for 100,000 pesos, but please remember this, it's all skill based. People are asking me what's the best business. It's not about what's the best business, it's about what are you good at. All of you guys are asking, if I have 100 pesos that I want to invest today, where should I put it? Tip number one is basically this. If you have any high interest debt, my suggestion, you pay that off. You put that 100,000 and you pump that in to be able to lessen your debt. Please remember, the technique in debt repayment is actually this. You put in as much cash so that your interest rate for the next few years becomes lower. People will say, I could invest that in the stock market, I could invest that in the real estate market. The thing about that is this, you have to figure out also where you're good at. You have to figure out also in terms of how you are earning. If you're paying 7, 8, 9% on that debt, and then what you are earning on a particular investment, say, is just 4, 5, 6%, you are actually losing money. If you are paying out more on that interest, then it doesn't make sense. There will be years where it will do well. There will be years that it will be bad. But there's one thing I know for sure. On those bad years, you are still paying that high interest debt first. On those good years, you're still paying the same amount. Paying off your debts will eliminate that variable that at least later on, 10, 15 years down the line, you have no debt. You are debt free. And that's my biggest suggestion. Second tip, not again one of the most sexiest types of tips that I'll give you, but if you don't have an emergency fund yet, put in the 100,000 there. If your emergency fund has not given you a larger buffer yet to protect you, should you get sick, your family member gets sick, you lose your job. If you don't have an emergency fund, then you are in trouble as well. But it doesn't have to be 6 months, it doesn't have to be 1 year, but it has to be at a point where you become comfortable with the buffer that you have, especially if you don't have any fixed income. Tip number 3, my suggestion, I've made so many videos about this. Just open an MP2 account. It locks you in for 5 years, meaning you're forced not to touch the money. It will literally be for savings, because please remember this, the problem of Filipinos, kumikita sila ng pera but they're actually spending a lot more also than what they're making as well. So Pag-ibig MP2 is 5 years, then hindi lang yun basta-basta 5 years. The rate of return there is much higher still than what you will get in time deposits, in bonds, in some common shares, in some preferred shares. Plus, it's actually tax-free. If you put your money in Pag-ibig's MP2, guess what? You're helping Pag-ibig have more funds to loan out to other people who want to get houses, and we're actually helping other Filipinos get houses as well. So I've been late in the game now. I've been talking about it a lot more now, because what I thought before was there's a limit to what you can put for the Pag-ibig's MP2, but what's interesting about that is you can put whatever amount that you want as well, and you will get a larger amount of return from all of it. Tip number 4 is you go to an equity index fund. I really believe this. If you are a long-term investor, studies have shown it already that equity index funds have dominated other active mutual funds as well. So if you want to have exposure to the stock market, you want to have exposure to equity funds, but you don't want to pick the stocks that you want to buy, you don't want to select them, you don't want to time them, just put it in an equity index fund. And I really believe that this is one of the best investments for people who do not have the time, who do not have the acumen, but want to earn, want to beat inflation, want to beat other mutual funds out there. The Philippines has 30 stocks in the Philippine Stock Exchange Index. That's what the equity index fund is tracking. Those stocks are recalibrated every 6 months. Since they're recalibrated, if you are number 29 and you are number 30, if you don't form the list anymore, number 31 and number 32 will take your place. One of the risks when you invest in the stock market is you invest in a company that will close down, you invest in a company that will go bankrupt. Probably most of your money won't return anymore. Here's the nice thing about an equity index fund. There will never come a point in time where the company will go bankrupt. There will never come a point in time where the company will close down there, because all of the companies in the index funds are all recalibrated every 6 months. Tip number 5 is not just investing in the stock market, but investing in the stock market with stocks that have dividends that are growing, dividends that are consistent. Dividends are excess income. Companies have sales, but from the sales, they have to pay taxes, they have certain expenses that they have to also disperse. If you remove all of that, they still have money that they still need to somehow use for their expansion, use for their operations. After they remove all of that, that money is left. and that's what they can give out for dividends. Think about it. The reason why they have extra money is because they're actually good in earning, but not just that. Buying dividend stocks is one of the safest ways for you to be able to make money in the market for the long term. But you must be willing to survive the volatility. There will be months where the stock prices are being hammered down. There will be days where it's been pushing down and it's going down as well. If you are investing into this, you have to have the stomach to not panic when you see stocks drop. People always say that the saddest thing when you start investing is to see your portfolio drop. I'll beg to differ also. One of the things that scare people is this. They've earned 50% only to see their earnings drop 25%. Yun yung isa sa malaking pinanghinayang ng mga tao. Yung concept na pera na naging matupad, that you're losing money that way. You need to learn though the concepts of fundamental analysis. You need to know how to know if the dividend yield of the stock that you're buying is very, very good as well. So tip number 6, it's still the stock market, but it's stock market trading. Please remember the difference between dividend investing and trading is basically this. Dividend investing, you're coming in as an investor. For trading, you just want to buy low, sell high. What's nice about it and what makes it very, very unique and what makes it a good value proposition for you to be able to make money is that you can make money over the short term. You can make money over extended periods as long as you know how to follow trends. I highly recommend stock trading, but please remember this, it will position you also to a higher degree of risk, but also in your end, that's where skills will already pump in. Everything will be skills based already, that the amount of earnings that you will get is basically proportional to the amount of skills that you put into it. You need to know what technical analysis is, know how to time the markets based on what the charts are telling you. But I'm telling you, and I'm saying this, it's one of the most fruitful things that you could ever do. It's really, really fun to be able to analyze companies via the charts, knowing when to come in and when to come out. And if you're trading the market, it's all under the adage that you don't have to be in the market all the time. You only have to be there when it counts the most, that you don't have to ride the long-term effects of the market, but when signals come, you start selling as well. Tip number 7 on our very, very last tip, you have to start your own business. And I really believe doing your own business is an amazing thing. It's one of the best ways still to make money. Your 100,000 will go a very, very long way, especially for businesses that are small scales, some businesses that don't require as much capital as possible. Of course, for 100,000, you cannot start a fast food chain, but probably you can start a very, very small food cart. You can buy particular items that you can sell via Instagram, that you can post them online and then just sell them as well. If you are doing something that's service related, meaning you are an accountant, just buy a laptop, buy a decent internet connection, buy something that will allow you to be able to get clients as well. Or if you're a photographer, of course you need equipment, buy the cameras that you need. You are an editor, buy a laptop. There are so many businesses that you can do for 100,000 pesos, but please remember this, it's all skill based. People are asking me what's the best business. It's not about what's the best business, it's about what are you good at. People who will make money in business, it's all dependent on how much skill you bring into the game, but not just skill that you have. Your skill will bring value to people, and the more value you bring people, the more money you will get as well, and that's how you will make money, and that's how you will maximize that 100,000 pesos. So I hope you guys got a lot of this. If you're a person who has a lot of debt and are paying massive amounts of debt, pay off that high interest debt first. If you don't have an emergency fund, go with the emergency fund. If you're someone who's relatively low risk but want to get a higher rate of return, go for that MP2. If you are someone who wants to take in more risk, then invest in index funds. If you want to get larger amounts of return but need to study more, then that's where you go dividend investing, stock trading, or you get your own business. So the best time to actually invest that 100,000 is today. Do not wait 5, 10, 20 years from now, because there's what you call the time value of money. Your money not invested is losing for you. Your money not invested is you failing to build the skills that are required for you to make money. And that's why I keep hammering it to people that you need to start right now, so that you develop and build the right skills that will help you make money, not just now, but in perpetuity as well. Kasi even if you lose money, guess what? Yung skill na yun, di na mawawala sa yun eh. The experience that you get from there will be priceless, and you can pivot and you can use that to help you make more money later on. Comment below if this is something that's helping you, and if you believe this is something that's giving you tremendous amounts of value. Super appreciate it if you guys could like, subscribe, so that this gets pushed out more to more people who want to learn more about business and investing as well. And it's time that we stop listening to politics. It's time that we start listening to something that will help you make money. This is marvingermo urging you that you are rich right here, right now. And I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you all.